Forget everything you think you know about American road trips. While everyone else is stuck in traffic en route, 66 are fighting for parking at the Grand Canyon. You could be discovering America's best-kept secrets, breathtaking routes, where the scenery does all the talking and you'll often find yourself blissfully alone with nature. This isn't just another travel guide. This is your ticket to experiencing the real America, the way it was meant to be seen, slowly, majestically, and without the crowds. Let's begin our journey in the rugged West with Utah's Highway 12, a 124-mile stretch of asphalt that deserves every bit of its all-American road designation. This isn't just a drive, it's a geological wonderland, where the earth itself seems to have been turned inside out. Starting near Panguitch, you'll wind your way through some of the most spectacular scenery the American West has to offer. Bryce Canyon's crimson hoodoos stand like silent sentinels, their intricate formations glowing with an almost supernatural light at sunrise. But here's the secret most travelers miss. While Bryce's main viewpoints get crowded, just a short detour to Kodachrome Basin State Park offers similarly stunning rock formations with barely a soul in sight. The road then plunges into Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, where the landscape becomes increasingly surreal. Imagine driving through a Western movie set designed by Salvador Dali. Stop at the Kiva Coffee House, perched dramatically on a cliff edge, for what might be the most scenic cup of coffee in America. As you approach Capitol Reef National Park, the road climbs over Boulder Mountain, where at nearly 11,000 feet, you can see all the way to Arizona on a clear day. The final descent into Torrey takes you through aspen groves that turn to liquid gold in autumn. Now let's head northwest to Washington's Cascade Loop, a 440-mile masterpiece that showcases why the Pacific Northwest is America's best-kept secret. Starting near Everett, the route quickly leaves suburbia behind as it climbs into the North Cascades. Mountains so jagged and dramatic, they're nicknamed the American Alps. At Washington Pass Overlook, the view will literally take your breath away, a panorama of sawtooth peaks and emerald valleys that rivals anything in Switzerland. The charming Bavarian village of Leavenworth makes for a perfect pit stop, with its timber-framed buildings and authentic German beer gardens. But the real magic happens further east in the Methau Valley, where the Old West still feels alive in towns like Winthrop, with its wooden boardwalks and hitching posts. Time your visit for October, when the larch trees, the region's only deciduous conifers, turn the mountainsides into a golden spectacle that few outsiders ever witness. For something completely different, let's venture to Nevada's Extraterrestrial Highway, officially known as Route T5. This 98-mile stretch of lonely desert road near Area 51 is where conspiracy theories come to life. The tiny town of Rachel, population humans 54, aliens unknown, is home to the legendary Little Alien Inn, a roadside bar where UFO enthusiasts swap stories over alien-themed burgers. At night, the lack of light pollution makes for some of the clearest stargazing in America. Just don't be surprised if you see something moving that can't be explained. Nearby Sand Mountain is a geological oddity, a 600-foot tall singing dune that emits an eerie hum when the wind blows just right. The real adventure begins when you turn onto the dirt roads leading to Area 51's perimeter. Just remember those no trespassing signs are no joke. Heading south, Mississippi's Natchez Trace Parkway offers 444 miles of pure driving bliss. This isn't just a road, it's a living museum, following ancient Native American trails that later became a crucial trade route. What makes it special? The complete absence of commercial traffic, no trucks, no billboards, just uninterrupted scenery. The southern section winds through cypress swamps, where Spanish moss drips from ancient trees, while the northern stretch passes Civil War, battlefields, and the birthplace of Elvis in Tupelo. Don't miss the ghost town of Rocky Springs, once a thriving community, now just a lonely church and a few crumbling foundations whispering stories of the past. The parkway's 50 mph speed limit encourages you to slow down and savor every mile. Colorado's San Juan Skyway is next, a 233-mile loop through some of the most dramatic mountain scenery in America. The $1 million highway between Silverton and Ouray is the star attraction, a white-knuckle stretch of road, carved into sheer cliffs with no guardrails between you and thousand-foot drops. But the rewards are worth it. Panoramic views of the Uncompahgre Gorge, wildflower-filled meadows in summer, and the eerie beauty of Black Canyon of the Gunnison. The historic mining town of Telluride makes a perfect base, with its Victorian architecture and world-class skiing. For the ultimate indulgence, book a night at the Wiesbaden Hot Springs in Ouray, where you can soak in vapor caves used by Ute Indians centuries ago. Oregon's Hells Canyon Scenic Byway takes you deep into the West's last true wilderness. Following the Snake River along the Oregon-Idaho border, this 218-mile route passes through the deepest river gorge in North America, deeper even than the Grand Canyon. The road climbs to Hat Point Lookout, where the view stretches for 100 miles on a clear day. Keep an eye out for bighorn sheep navigating the cliffs with impossible grace. History buffs will love the numerous ghost towns along the route, remnants of Oregon's gold rush era. For a truly unique experience, take a jet boat tour through the canyon's wild rapids. It's like stepping into an old Western movie. Virginia's Blue Ridge Parkway has a secret. Its northern section is far less crowded than the popular North Carolina stretch. Starting near Roanoke, this portion winds through rolling blue hills that give the mountains their name. Mabry Mill is the postcard perfect highlight. A working grist mill that looks frozen in time. Nearby Chateau Morissette Winery offers tastings with panoramic mountain views. Time your visit for May, when the hillsides explode with flame, azaleas in shades of orange and red, so vivid they seem to glow from within. The cool mountain air carries the scent of wildflowers, making this one of America's most sensory road trips. Texas River Road, officially FM 170, is Big Bend Country's best-kept secret. This 51-mile roller coaster of a road follows the Rio Grande, with Mexico just across the muddy waters. The highlight is Santa Elena Canyon, where 1,500-foot limestone cliffs plunge straight into the river. The ghost town of Terlingua comes alive at night when musicians gather at the Starlight Theater, an open-air venue where the Milky Way provides the lighting for a real adventure cross the river, legally, at the Boquillas crossing into a tiny Mexican village where the pace of life hasn't changed in a century. Alaska's Seward Highway proves that sometimes the journey really is better than the destination. This 127-mile stretch between Anchorage and Seward packs more wilderness into every mile than any other road in America. Glaciers spill down from the mountains on one side, while the Turnagain Arms tidal flats stretch to the horizon on the other. Beluga whales often swim close to shore, their white backs glistening in the midnight sun during summer months. Stop at Alyeska Resort to ride the tram up Mount Alyeska for panoramic views, or detour to the quirky town of Girdwood for some of the best cinnamon rolls you'll ever taste. New Mexico's Enchanted Circle is an 84-mile loop through landscapes that inspired Georgia O'Keeffe. Starting in artsy Taos, the road climbs through the Sangre de Cristo Mountains to Wheeler Peak, the state's highest point at 13,161 feet. The old mining town of Red River maintains its Wild West charm, while nearby Angel Fire is home to a striking Vietnam Veterans Memorial shaped like an underground bunker. Autumn, the aspens turn the mountains into a golden tapestry that has to be seen to be believed. North Carolina's Outer Banks Scenic Byway proves that not all great road trips are on the mainland. This 138-mile road strings together barrier islands, accessible only by ferry in places. The star attraction is Cape Hatteras National Seashore, where wild horses roam free, and the iconic black and white lighthouse stands guard over the graveyard of the Atlantic. Adventurous drivers can take a 404 to Corova Beach, where the only traffic jams involve herds of wild mustangs. Time your trip for spring or fall to avoid crowds and experience the islands at their most magical. California's Gold Rush. Trail winds through the Sierra Nevada, foothills where dreams were made and broken in equal measure. From Placerville to Downeyville, this route passes through living history, towns that still look much as they did in 1850, the Empire Mine in Grass, Valley offers a fascinating glimpse into California's gilded past, while the Yuba River's emerald pools provide the perfect swimming hole on a hot summer day. Don't miss the chance to pan for gold in the same streams that once drew thousands of fortune seekers. You probably won't strike it rich, but you'll leave with a greater appreciation for those who did. Nevada's loneliest road, US 50, stretches 287 miles across the state's empty heart. This is big sky country at its most dramatic, a landscape of sagebrush, plains and distant mountain ranges where you can drive for hours without seeing another soul. Great Basin National Park is the crown jewel, home to ancient bristlecone pines and Lehman caves, intricate limestone formations. At night, the lack of light pollution makes for stargazing so clear. You can see the Milky Way with the naked eye. For the ultimate Nevada experience, soak in Spencer Hot Springs, while wild donkeys wander nearby. It's the perfect way to end a day on America's loneliest road. But wait, we're just getting started. Let's add 5 more extraordinary routes that deserve a spot on your bucket list. Michigan's Tunnel of Trees. M119 is a 20-mile stretch along Lake Michigan that feels like driving through a fairy tale. In autumn, the maple, oak, and beech trees form a blazing canopy overhead, while glimpses of the azure lake appear between historic summer cottages. Stop at Legs Inn, a quirky Polish restaurant with driftwood furniture and pierogi that will make you question every other pierogi you've ever eaten. Arizona's Apache Trail, Route 88, may only be 40 miles long, but it packs in enough drama for a road trip 10 times its length. Winding through the Superstition Mountains, this mostly unpaved route passes ghost towns, saguaro-covered hillsides, and Canyon Lake's stunning blue waters. The road's tight. Switchbacks and sheer drop-offs aren't for the faint of heart, with every white-knuckled moment. Vermont's Route 100 is New England's quintessential fall foliage drive, stretching 216 miles through postcard-perfect villages and covered bridges. Time your visit for late September, when the maple trees turn the landscape into a kaleidoscope of reds and oranges. Don't miss the Cold Hollow Cider Mill for fresh apple cider donuts that melt in your mouth. South Dakota's Peter Norbeck Scenic Byway proves there's more to the state than Mount Rushmore. This 70-mile loop through the Black Hills includes the famous Needles Highway, where granite spires pierce the sky, and Sylvan Lake, a mirror-like body of water surrounded by towering cliffs. Wildlife sightings are practically guaranteed. Bison, bighorn sheep, and even mountain lions call this area home. Finally, Maine's Acadia All-American Road offers 40 miles of rugged coastal beauty. The highlight is Park Loop Road in Acadia National Park, where granite cliffs meet the crashing Atlantic. Arrive at Cadillac Mountain before dawn to be among the first people in America to see the sunrise. Afterward, reward yourself with fresh lobster in Bar Harbor, eaten the proper Maine way, with melted butter and no pretensions. Each of these routes offers something unique, whether it's Utah's otherworldly rock formations, Nevada's extraterrestrial intrigue, or Maine's timeless coastal charm. But they all share one thing in common: the promise of adventure without the crowds. So pack your bags, fill up the tank, and hit the road. America's most spectacular drives are waiting, and they're even better when you have them mostly to yourself. Remember, the best road trips aren't about checking destinations off a list. They're about the unexpected detours, the chance encounters, and those moments when you pull over to the side of the road simply because the view demands it. These 25 routes offer endless opportunities for exactly those kinds of experiences. So which one speaks to your soul? The red rock majesty of Utah, the alien mysteries of Nevada, or perhaps the coastal drama of Maine? Whichever you choose, you're in for the road trip of a lifetime. Now it's your turn. Grab those keys, roll down the windows, and discover the real America. The open road is calling. Will you answer?